Okay, so this is my code. I make a four functions, which is for the four problem. The first one, for the first problem, function called basic math takes two parameters, which is both integer called x and y. Yeah, and this expression just printing out the results. The addition of both integer, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In the second function called 2 pesos, it takes a float parameter, which is called USD. In this, I initiate a integer, which is called pesos, and set it to 45. This is float because often in currency conversion, we are dealing with decimals. Printing out the converted amount, then printing out the result is USD times pesos. The next one, called 2cm, which takes a float parameter, which is called inch. And here, I initiated a cm value of 2.54, which is float because it is decimal. Then printing out the converted value, which is here. Inch times cm. Then for the last problem, I make a function called area circle, which takes a float parameter of radius. I initiate a float of pi, which and set it to 3.14 because it is decimal, that's why it float. And R2, which is the multiplication of radius to itself. And the answer, which is the area, float again because this is has decimal, which is just the times of pi and the R2 here. Then printing out the result. In the main, I initiated the variables that are needed for this, which is this 6, this 6. This choice in this choice variable called this integer variable called choice is for the switch statement here. I print out the choices, then takes the input of the user, which choice did you choose, then initiate a switch case statement here at the bottom. For the case one, which is this basic math, I print out this, type the first number, then type the second number, then getting the user's input here x and y to replace these two, then calling the basic math function, which is here, then passing the x and y variables as a parameter, and after that print so that the program will stop. In case 2 is the currency conversion. Here, print out the desired amount in USD, then get the user's input, which is the USD, which is here, float because it is currency, and often in currency, we are dealing with decimals. Then call the 2 pesos functions that takes the USD as the parameter. Then compute it. Case 3, this print, I print out this, then takes the user's input, which is the inch. Also in float because in measurements we are also always dealing with decimals. Then call the 2cm function, which has the inch variable as parameter. Then in the case 4, I print out this, and takes the user's input, radius, which is also a float because it is a measurement. Then call the area circle function, which takes the radius as parameter. Then that's it. I will now run the code. For example, for the first one, basic math, I'll enter 1. Then it will ask for the first number, let's say 4. Then the second number, which is 2. And then it prints out the results. 6, 2, 6, 8, and 2. Let's call that. Let's call the. Let's run this again. Let's choose this time number 2, which is the currency conversion. Type desired amount in USD. For example, we have 50 USD. Converted amount, which is 2,250 in pesos. Let's run this again. Now, number 2. Desired length in inch. For example, we have 10 inch. Converted value is 25.4 cm. Then the last one, which is the area of circle, let's choose 4. Then type the desired radius. For example, 5. The area of circle is 78.5. Let's run this again. For example, I type 5. It will exit the program.